Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder to an update video. And it will be soon very apparent what's going on, and a lot of you already know it. So, yeah, in the background you can see some gameplay of the RE251 and also gameplay in the Foch. And those gameplays were part of, some other videos that I planned, and the footage was still laying around, and I couldn't play War Thunder for some few days. So, yeah, this is about an update about my health, and now it's going uphill again, where before it was rapidly going downhill, and all it had to do with my back pain. And I was unable to sit, to even lay in bed properly, and I barely could breathe. And now I am on fast recovery thanks to modern medicine, and never have I been so glad that medicine helped than in the past few days. So, yeah, this will be an update on the next few days, on what I have planned, and how it happened, as well as then a little bit of what I experienced, and also how the community that at least I try to keep updated on YouTube reacted to. Funny bastards. So, I will take the next few days very with a lot of ease. I will not stress myself. I concentrate on recovery, and as soon as I feel a little bit bad or something begins to hurt, I will continue my exercises for the lower back, and then I hopefully can speed up my recovery, and then I can pursue normal service here. So, what happened? Well, first of all, I was out there fishing and trying out a new fishing location with my 8-year-old cousin, and we were having a lot of fun, catching firstly nothing. Then I changed the bait and changed the location where I placed the bait in some back-flowing water, but there is a big whirlpool in the river because there are some stones in the river, and the water is flowing back partially. I don't know the exact term, and I'm too lazy and too tired to look it up here properly, so sorry for my English, but I think you guys are used to this, to my excellent English. Yeah. And well, we were having fun catching some of the little fish, and I explained them that some of them became a plague recently. They are not naturally, they shouldn't be here naturally, but they are there, and they're spreading, and they're a plague and a problem for catching the bigger fish, etc., etc. And while explaining and happily catching them, it was like the 10th fish that we caught. They're just like as long as a hand, not really big, but very, very hungry. I was just bending over to look better into the mouth of one of those fish to get the hook out, and then suddenly my back began to hurt a little bit. So I released the hook and put the fish into the bucket with the other fish, and then I stood up, and then I sat down to take a good breathe, or to breathe properly, to use the full lung volume. And then when I was at the maximum of my lung volume, then suddenly my back really like Thanos. it snapped, really, it snapped. And I was like, oh, that's not good. And my cousin didn't notice it. He was catching another little fish, and I was like, you know what to do, right? Because usually I release the hook. And he was like, no, I can't do it, and yada yada yada. I tried to stand up. I couldn't stand up, and it was a lot of pain. Long story short, I then convinced him that we had to go home. He was not really happy about it, but I said, okay, look, I have a lot of pain. I don't know what happened, and I simply couldn't pack the stuff together. So my 8-year-old cousin was now the saving factor here for all my fishing equipment, because I just simply couldn't pick it up. I couldn't pick up the fishing rods, and I couldn't reach out more than half a meter, the radius of my arms, my hands, And he then gave me all the fishing rods for me to put them together properly into the travel mode, if you will. And then I advised him what to do, and he knew most of the stuff himself because he was with me for quite some time now when going fishing, and he's super excited about it. And yeah, it was so far a good day. Then we released fish and etc. And then the problem was, this was the first time, or one of the first times, that I was off-road with him. So the usual fishing place was, where there was a paved road directly to it, and you had to just literally step out of the car and you were at the fishing place. But I tried out something new. If there were some other places where I could fish in daylight and hope to catch something, because now the water in Germany, or in Bavaria, in the rivers, is very, very low and very, very clear. So the fish just go to the very deepest spots in the river, or to just some places where you just can't catch them because the current there is still that strong. And so I tried it out, and maybe some fish would get there, and I'm pretty sure that this is a very good location for catching catfish in the summer at night. And so I just wanted to have some first-hand experience how this spot looks. Long story short, again, then we packed up the stuff, and then I wanted to drive home because we were there with a car, with a with a small transporter, and yeah, I think every stone and every rock knew my name. Remember, we were off-road, not really massively off-road, but those few hundred meters up until we came to the paved road, with that back pain, controlling all the pedals and just paying attention to the traffic. Oof, really oof. And it was the first time, as I said, that I was on this very spot. So yeah, then I went home, and I still had to do a long travel, but then I just postponed it and just said, nope, not sitting in the car today, not for like 100 kilometers, not for doing this 2 times today. And so I took some the heaviest painkillers that we had at home, which you can get without any sort of doctor prescription, and I hoped for the best. I was laying down, and I just I was short on air all the time, but I thought when I lay down it gets better. But no, the pain actually intensified when I laid on my back. When I rolled to the side, it was barely manageable. I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand, I couldn't do anything. I was just in sheer pain. And I just had to take it because, I thought it would get better because I had a similar experience like a year ago, and it got better within a few hours. So I hoped for the same, but it just didn't happen. And then the entire Monday, I just I was still in pain, and then the doctor had closed, the doctor in our village, and I just waited till 3 o'clock afternoon, and then my granduncle drove me there, and then the doctor examined me, and the 2 possibilities that were there, the worst one was not the case, so that was a big relief just by saying him this after he examined me, and I had no pain in the feet and the legs, and so it was just a heavy case of witch shot, as it is directly translated from German Hexenschuss. So it was a nerve that caused all this massive pain, and then I got some medicine directly into my arm with a syringe, I think it's called, and then I felt my left arm was feeling a little bit funny, and the pain was not as sharp anymore. Like it felt like stabs or getting stabbed with a sharp knife, and especially when trying to breathe in, I just couldn't do it. And then suddenly it got bit better and bit better. Then we went to the medicine shop. I don't know what the proper word for it is. For that is, and then I got the rest of the medicine, and I took the pills, and then I actually could sleep for some hours because the day before, the night, I just couldn't sleep. I was so much in pain, and the help of the doctor already asked me, how could you take that pain for so long, because she had a similar experience, and we were talking to each other. yeah, she couldn't imagine how much pain I had during all this time. And so that was then one of those things where I have to say, well, now I'm glad that it's over. Again, I'm still in the recovery phase. I'm still there to get better. I do my back exercises very slowly, very carefully, and this is an experience that I hope that I don't have to make anytime soon again. And usually, I'm a strong person. I mean, I'm not a person that would take on a marathon or an Ironman. No, I'm just somebody that works outside on the family drinking shop, and I walk around with those boxes of bottles with glass, and also those 30 and 50 liter um, um, beer barrels, and so I can lift them, etc. But on Sunday I didn't do any sort of work. So if it would have been caused by me working and throwing around the barrels, then I would understand it. But no, I didn't. So it just happened randomly. And yeah, that is the first case now, probably hopefully closed. So in the next few days I cannot guarantee any sort of videos, and I hope that you guys understand. Then thanks to all the guys and all the nice words that you just told me on War Thunder community site, where I released the messages, and you guys are a bunch of funny bastards, really. You can read through it for yourself. A lot of comments which basically said, well, hopefully a speedy recovery, get well soon, just don't die, etc. And yeah, the promised video about why I avoided Tank RB will be there next week, since the video is already rendered but on the other PC, and I don't have the footage here, and I don't want to make an extra commentary about what I already did. So I hope you understand that, and that's the plan so far. Now, the next thing is that I have some other projects running in real life, and also about War Thunder. And especially the War Thunder one, I have great hopes, and I have to work on that also, and I will hopefully get everything done in a few times notice. Let's just say that it is about ships. Yes, I know a lot of you are not interested, but I worked on this for quite a while, and hopefully I can make something work there. I don't know how much I can actually tell you about it, but it is a project that I have high hopes for. And yeah, I will not spoil you too much. I hope that now you are knowing what's going on, that you understand it. And yeah, that's it for me today. And thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more in the future, and as usual, we'll see each other on the battlefields of War Thunder.